Hey guys, welcome back from spring break. COVID-19 panic notes, day 4. Hope you're rested up. As I said before, we're going to be solving these by substitution this time. Last time we did elimination because we eliminated the y first. Here we're going to substitute because we have these solved for one variable, and I'm going to show you here. So if we look, this one is solved for y. So y is x plus 6. X plus 6 is y. That's what equals means. So y's value is the same as x plus 6. X plus 6 value is the same as y. So I can use these interchangeably. So I can actually take this x plus 6 and replace it here for y. So what I'm going to do is 3x minus 4. And because I know the value of y, I can put the value of y in there. Well, y is x plus 6. Now what I've done there is I've taken care of the y. The y is gone in this equation, and I can solve for x. So it's a 5-step equation. Distribute, combine like terms. Well, it's not 5 steps, it's 4. Distribute, combine like terms, get rid of the extra variable, abstract, multiply, divide. Then you have this reference sheet, and you can pull it up at any time. I know that step 3 is going to be out. There's no extra variable over here, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to distribute first. So I have negative 4 times 1 is negative 4x. Negative 4 times 6 is negative 24. And I'm going to bring down that 3x. And I also bring down my equals and my negative 20. Well, I can combine like terms. I have those two terms because they both have an x. I can add them together. And when I add them together, I get negative 1x. Bring down the 24, bring down the negative 20. Excuse me. So I'm going to get rid of what's added subtracted because I don't have an extra variable. So I'm going to go ahead and add 24 to both sides of the equation. I'm left with negative 1x over here because those two are opposite operations and they cancel out or they disappear. They actually become 0, and 0 plus anything is just itself. Negative 20 plus 24 is 4. And then our last step, of course, is to get rid of what's multiplied, and that happens to be the negative 1. And 4 divided by negative 1 is negative 4. So that's the first part of ours, x. X is the first one because it's x and y. So then, since we know the value of x now, we can go right back up here. We solve for y, and that's what we need to know what the value of y is. So we have x. We're just going to replace that x with that negative 4 right here. So y equals x plus 6, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to replace that x with that value of y, so negative 4 plus 6. If it helps you, it's what you're substituting. You can put parentheses there, but you don't have to. This is negative, then it says negative 4 plus 6, y equals 2, and we put the 2 down there. I like this way, especially if you got it solved for one letter, you can do that. If you have one that's solved for x, well, it comes a little different. You just have to make sure that you don't switch these two around, okay? Excuse me. Let's look at the next one. Once again, we have one solved. This one happens to be the bottom one is solved for y. So all of that, 2x minus 13 is the value of y. So I can replace y with this binomial here. So there's my equation up top, 4x plus 3, and I'm going to sub the y in. That's all I did is I took that one and I replaced the y with a set of parentheses. Well, what is y? Y is all of this, so it's 2x minus 13 goes in there. Now I have an equation. I distribute. 3 times 2 is 6x. 3 times negative 13 is negative 39. I didn't do anything with that 4x. 6 is positive, so I move the plus. And I took my 1. I'm going to combine like terms. 4 and 6 is 10x. I didn't do anything with the 39. Bring it down. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of what's added or subtracted. So I'm going to add 39 to both sides. I have 10x equals 40. When I add those two together, 1 plus 39 is 40. And then divide by 10. If you notice, we're not really doing anything new here, guys. This is all stuff that we know how to do, just seeing it a different light, a different manner. So now we have the value of x. So we can substitute for any value of x for 4. 4 and x are interchangeable. Well, this one's solved for y. We need to know y, right? Because a coordinate point is an x value and a y value. Well, might as well use that one. Y equals 2x minus 13, where I can go ahead and I can sub that x out for what I know the value of x is, and that value of x right here is 4. So I put the 4 in there. So 2 times 4 is 8. I bring down that minus 13. And 8 minus 13 is 5, negative 5. Easy peasy. You can play this video over and over again to make sure that you get what you need and that you understand what's going on. So here I'm going to do some more examples for you. I'm try to pick up the pace a little bit so the video is not so long. Here again, we have all of this as the value of y. So I'm going to take that x minus, you can put a 1 there if you want to. 4, so I'm going to take that. That's all of this. I just rewrote it with parentheses for the y. And I know that I can interchange that 6x plus 22 as the value of y because it is equal to y. So they're interchangeable. I'm going to distribute. Negative 4 times negative 6 is 24x. And negative 4 times 22 is negative 88. Bring down the 4, also bring down that negative 1x. And since 24 is positive, put a plus there. I don't want to think that they're times or multiplied together. So we're going to go ahead and combine like terms then. And negative 1, that would give us 23x minus 88 equals 4. We're going to go ahead and add 88 to both sides of the equation. Those two then are opposite operations, are gone. So we have 23x equals, when we add those two together, we're going to get 92. And then divide by 23. Those are gone, and we have x equals 4. So that is the first part, 4, and I'm running out of room for my next one down here. So what do? We know the value of 4. We take it up here, and we take it to the one that's already solved for y, because we need that. Y equals negative 6x plus 22. And we're going to substitute the value of 4 for x. Negative 6 is times 4 is negative 24 plus 22. And then just simply add those two together. So y equals negative 2. Remember, x, y. X, y. Okay, guys? Hopefully we can get this one in here. And I didn't give myself a whole lot of room for this one. So once again, we have the bottom one here is solved for y. So y is all of this. So all of this can be substitute for the y up there. So we have negative 1x. I'm just rewriting this, minus 3. And I'm going to put parentheses for y equals negative 16. And I'm going to put, since y is all of this, I'm going to substitute it for the y value. I distribute. Negative 3 times 7 is negative 21x. Negative 3 times 20 is negative 60. I'll bring down that 1x and that negative 16, and there's a negative there, so we use that as a minus. We'll combine like terms. Negative 1 and negative 21 is negative 22x. We'll bring down that negative 60 and the negative 16. No extra variable, so we're just going to go to getting rid of what's added or subtracted to the variable, which happens to be that minus 60. So we're going to add 60 to both sides of the equation. These are opposite operations. They disappear, so we have negative 22x equals, and what do we have here? 44? Yeah, 44. And then we're going to divide by negative 22. And these two now are opposite operations. So we have x equals negative 2. That is the first part of our coordinate point. That's the x value. So we need the y value. I'm going to go right back up here. I know x is negative 2. Negative 2 is x. So I can sub it. I want to do this one because it's y. The question is, can I put it in this one? You surely can, but you're going to have many more steps. You're going to have more steps. Not many more, but more steps than you will if you put it into this one. So it doesn't matter. You're not going to mess up if you put it in this equation. So we're going to do it here. We know that x is -2 plus 20. So we're going to do that, distribute. 7 times -2 is -14 plus 20. And then we just add those two together. -14 plus 20 happens to be 6. And we get our answer. I think when we do notes next time, I won't do all 6. I am going to do all 6 now since perhaps you're not going to see everything. This is a weird one because this one says y equals -5. That's nice because guess what, guys? If we know it's a singular number, we know -5. We know that's the y value. It's already there. So our work is cut out for us. But we can substitute the y for -5, -5 for the y. Well, there it is right there. So we can go 8x -4 and sub in our value of -5. This one's easy peasy. All right, so here we go. We have 8x, and we do -4 times -5, which is 20, equals 4. There's no combining like terms. There's no extra variable, so we're going to subtract 20. And we're left with 8x. And we have 4 minus 20, which is -16. And, of course, our last step is to divide by 8. And we get -2. Well, there we go. That's it. We didn't have to do all that over here because we already know that the value of it, there's no x in here to substitute. So we know the value of y is -5. Don't get those two mixed up, though. So make sure you understand x goes first, followed by y. And I keep writing that because I want you to remember it. And into our last problem. This one's similar to the other ones that we had. So this one's solved for y, so we know that all of that right there is equal to y. So -1x plus 2 equals -10. All I did was rewrite this one with the y as a parenthesis. And what y is the -6x minus 18. So we're going to go ahead and distribute that 2. 2 times -6 is -12, and we're going to add the x's with x. And 2 times 18, 36, -36. And bring everything else down. We're going to combine like terms. So -1 and -12 is -13x minus 36 equals -10. I like this line. Keep the lines in there, guys. It's organization. Keeps you nice and graphically organized. So there's no extra variable, so we're going to get rid of what's added or subtracted, which happens to be that -36. So we're going to add 36 to both sides. Those are opposite operations. They disappear, and we have 13x. And -10 plus 36 happens to be 26. And, of course, we're going to divide by -13, and x equals -2. So we have the first part, -2, of our x and our y coordinate point. What do we do with that -2? Well, we need the y. So we're going to go back up here, and it's easier to put in this one. Can you put in this one? Yes, you can. You could put -2 in here, and that would actually be +1 because it's the opposite of x, which is 2. Then you'd have to subtract 2 from both sides and then divide by 2. Whereas if we do this one, it's a little bit easier because all we have to do is substitute for the x. I'm doing this so you can see it. You don't necessarily have to do that. You could go and jump right to this step right here and put your -2 in there. -6 and -2 when multiplied together is 12. Excuse me. Talking too much. Throat's dry. All right. So 12 minus 18, well, that's going to give us our -6 that we need. And there you have it. Once again, be safe and wait until tomorrow's notes. See you then.